Hello ladies, I am refilming this video. It is day 24 of the challenge and sorry it's a little bit windy, but it's so beautiful outside. I filmed it and then the audio was way too quiet so you couldn't hear anything, so I am refilming it today and then I will do a second video later. But yesterday's video was all about you don't get what you deserve, you get what you tolerate. And what this means is a lot of times we get these circumstances, and especially in childhood, if you grew up in a tough situation or it was difficult for you to feel safe and loved, if you didn't have your needs met, a lot of times that the child brain is going to ask what's wrong with me? Am I a bad person? I deserve this, I must just be a bad kid. And you internalize a lot of that in childhood because we come to this space, this planet, thinking our parents should be taking care of us, and they should be. And so when it doesn't happen, a child doesn't understand that parents have trauma and parents have cycles and patterns of wounding themselves. They can't even see themselves outside of their parent. If you know anything about early childhood development, we very much see ourselves as children as an extension of our parent. So children have a very self-centered brain because that's all they know of the world. They haven't had the room to expand and grow beyond that. And so what happens is we get these deep-rooted beliefs in us in childhood that there's something wrong with us, that we deserve to be punished, we deserve a bad life, we deserve these bad circumstances and experiences. And oftentimes this turns into depression and anxiety, and as you grow into your adulthood, it turns into you going through the world experiencing really negative things and feeling that deep sense of, I deserve this negative situation. I deserve this poor treatment. I'm broken, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. All of these core beliefs from a core wound that you experienced in childhood. And in order for us to overcome that, we actually have to look at what we're tolerating and choose to stop tolerating it. And that's why I say we don't get what we deserve, we get what we tolerate. And in a way, we get what we believe we deserve. We get what we choose to decide is our baseline. So if you're working a job and you're making minimum wage, you are accepting that you deserve minimum wage. By your actions, by having that job, you are telling your brain, telling your self-concept, I deserve the bare minimum. I deserve only this much. Because your actions, your behaviors are showing you are tolerating that. And then once you reach a certain level in your skills and your abilities, you start to, grow your worth and value. You start to tell yourself, actually, I deserve more than the bare minimum. Actually, I'm not going to tolerate minimum wage anymore. I'm going to do jobs that are $2 more than the minimum wage. And that's my new baseline. That's the new low, that I won't go less than that. And when we talk about boundaries have nothing to do with other people. Boundaries have everything to do with you and what you're willing to tolerate. Boundaries say, this is what I will tolerate, and if I experience anything less than this, I'm walking away. I won't experience less than this. I won't tolerate less than this. I won't accept less than this. I do not deserve less than this. And you act upon that belief. And when you start to look at your circumstances and they stop feeling good, they stop feeling right, they stop feeling like enough, they stop feeling like an appropriate and even exchange of your energy and your time, that's because you've raised your standard. You've raised the standard of what you're willing to tolerate. You have raised the baseline of what you're willing to accept. And what that means for you is now you have two choices. Continue to take less than what you know you deserve and become bitter and resentful and be angry at others. Or, and this is the better option, change your actions. This is building on the lesson that we took yesterday on how to take action and what we mean by taking action. So if you are only going to tolerate a minimum wage job, your actions will only be in alignment with that minimum wage job. You won't apply for anything better than that. And then once you raise your standard of tolerance, once you decide, actually, no, I would like to make more money, I'm gonna apply for jobs that are paying $2 more than the job I have right now, and I won't take anything less. And you don't compromise on that. You don't decide, oh, I'm gonna do it, and then go back on that, because then you're being double-minded, and that never creates success. So in order to truly experience what you desire, you have to change what you believe you deserve. And the way that you change what you believe you deserve is you incrementally increase what you tolerate. You don't have to decide you're going to take a job double your money if that feels too hard for you, if it feels out of reach. You don't have to decide that overnight even. You don't have to make a huge point to stretch yourself to capacity, because oftentimes it feels unrealistic and it feels hard. And when it feels hard, it doesn't manifest. When it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle, you are fighting an uphill battle, and you're fighting with yourself. And you shouldn't ever have to try to convince yourself that you're worth more. You should just know that. You should have this sense of, I know that I can do better than this, and so I'm only going to tolerate this or better. And a lot of coaches get this or better wrong and think that, oh, this or better means I can't manifest this, so I must just have to lie to myself and say, is this or better, in order to make myself feel better. And I don't see it that way at all. I always say this or better because we are constantly evolving. And what's happened to me so many times is like, I tell myself it's this job or better, and by the time I get around to getting the job, I feel like I can do even better than that job. I feel like that job starts to feel like settling. It starts to feel like less than I deserve because I leveled up so quickly. So if you want to have a better experience, if you want to be satisfied with your 3D, you have to know what you feel like you deserve. You have to identify that baseline. And if that baseline no longer feels right for you, if the bare minimum that you've been tolerating no longer feels like enough, raise your standards and stick to that choice. Stick to the decision that you are going to tolerate this and nothing less. Decide in your heart that you deserve a certain quality of life, that you deserve a certain compensation at work, you deserve a certain standard in relationships. And when it's not that, you have to be willing to walk away. And I'm not saying quit your job and just like be struggling. I'm not saying don't quit. I'm not saying quit without a backup plan and like just don't be cautious, because everybody's different. Now I would quit without a backup plan because that's just me, and I'll face the consequences. But what I am saying is, once you've made your decision that you deserve better, you have to take those actions then. You got to start writing down, what does better look like? You have to start deciding, what salary am I going to accept? You have to start saying, if my specific person doesn't show up this way, I have to leave. I have to walk away. You set your boundary for yourself. You set the guideline for yourself on what you're willing to tolerate. And when the circumstances show you that it's less than what you're desiring and less than what you feel like you deserve, walk away, leave, move forward, detach, let it go, change your circumstances, find another job, break up with a specific person. Like, whatever you have to do to protect your boundary, to protect your value and your self-worth, whatever you have to do, taking action to ensure that you are not lying to yourself when you say that you deserve better, but in fact you're showing yourself you deserve better. You are confirming to yourself that you deserve better by taking action that shows you, proves to you, and is in alignment with you deserving better. So you get what you tolerate. You get the job you tolerate. You get the quality of living you tolerate. Ooh, loud truck. You get the physical health that you tolerate. You get the relationship treatment that you tolerate. And if you don't want to tolerate it anymore, nobody is forcing you to tolerate it. So thank you for holding out on this lesson. I am walking to go get some breakfast. So I will film the next one inside since I filmed the last couple outside. But thank you for being here today. And before we leave, we're gonna drop our 3 affirmations down below. So it's day 24. So we're gonna say, 23 days ago, I decided I'm a healthy person. 23 days ago, I decided I am an expert at manifestation. And 23 days ago, I decided I'm experiencing all of my desires right now. So don't lower your standards, raise your expectations, and move accordingly. I will see you next time. Bye.